In today's Smart Money, a study from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services estimates over half of Americans turning 65 today will develop a disability serious enough to require long-term care. Now, this could be a potential big expense that impacts a lot of you. ABC-7's financial contributor Brian Mirau of Mirau Capital Management joins me now. Brian, how much attention should people be putting on planning for future health care and long-term costs?
Well, Mark, November is Long-Term Care Awareness Month, so I'm glad to be able to be here today and share some statistics and some information to help everyone watching today. And, according to senior living data, 70% of adults age 65 and older are going to require long-term care at some point. Now, the average length of stay in long-term care facilities is about 3.2 years, and over 20% of residents, they're going to require care for over 5 years or longer. And the average cost nationwide of assisted living is about $4,600 a month, and that's $55,000 a year. So to answer your question, Mark, people absolutely should be paying attention and planning for themselves and their families' futures, healthcare and long-term care costs.
Brian, for those who have not planned for long-term care, how have you seen them and their families affected?
Well, Mark, it can put a lot of pressure on the family and a lot of burden on family members who must help elderly parents or their family. 78% of adults who are getting long-term care at home rely solely on family and friends for their assistance. And over 90% of family caregivers had to alter their work schedule permanently due to caring for their loved ones. And around 40% of caregivers have had to switch from working full-time to part-time. And 29% had to use their own money to provide for care.
So for people who aren't sure how to address the issue of long-term care, Brian, where do they start?
Well, Mark, there's some important questions that you have to ask to get the conversation started. Some of these are, what are some of the most common care types of long-term care that I'm most likely to need? You also want to ask and look for different methods of payment for long-term care and which ones do you qualify for? You got to ask yourself the question, does long-term care insurance make sense for me or for another loved one in our family? And there are other options for planning for health care and long-term care costs. And how does a need for care affect my family and my loved ones in my own personal situation? Now, another statistic that some study from the same study from the U.S. Department of Health that I want to mention here is that 56% of all Americans will need some form of long-term care, but less than 3% of the U.S. population has long-term care insurance.
How does planning for long-term care and health care costs fit into a retirement strategy, and how do you help your clients with that?
Well, Mark, everybody's situation is different, and we must look at the individual household's goals and what their ideal retirement looks like. Then we can run a retirement analysis, which is an advanced planning software tool that can answer that question of, do you have enough? Okay, and this will calculate possible health care and long-term care costs so that we can have a conversation about the best way to plan for these costs and answer the question, will you have enough to cover them without needing family assistance? And we can run this free of charge for any of our viewers today. And Mark, one more thing, we're also offering a free complimentary copy of my book titled Smart Money for the Backside of Life for anyone wanting to set a visit. And in my book, I discuss many different aspects of retirement that folks deal with on the backside of life. And I actually have a whole chapter on longevity, which dives very deep into the healthcare cost and how to plan for long-term care.
So text the word RETIRE to 915-233-2904 for your free analysis. You can also set a visit to receive a copy of Brian's new book, Smart Money for the Backside of Life. Again, 915-233-2904. Text the word RETIRE. And you can also visit their website online at miraucapital.com/TV. ABC-7 financial contributor Brian Mirau, thanks for that timely information today.
Mark, thank you for having me today.